I had a feeling that this custody battle between Samantha Smith as Nipsey Hussle's sister and Tanisha Foster, also known as Chyna Hussle, was going to heat up. Go ahead and take a look at this video. So Chyna showed up to court on Tuesday, May 14th to try to gain custody of her daughter and also seek financial support from Nipsey Hussle's estate. She also, because she said she hasn't seen her daughter, the courthouse was cleared out for about, or the courtroom was cleared out for about 20 minutes so that she could spend time with the money. All right. Tanisha's family, as well as Black Sam, they conversed. You know, there was nothing like, there was no controversy. There was nothing like kind of like between these families. They did talk to each other, but nothing was decided on Tuesday. So the hearing was continued until this past Friday, and where Tanisha has basically claimed that Samantha Smith has refused to turn over her daughter and that she has refused to let her see her. All right. I don't know. I had a feeling when I made my first video or whenever I made it that this was going to happen. And a lot of people didn't necessarily agree to Tanisha getting her daughter back. And I was saying it's not about whether we agree or not. It's about if this woman is deemed fit to take care of Imani and the judge sees fit to have her take care of her, then I don't know why they wouldn't return her. Now, there's some other stuff going on behind the scenes, which is why I felt like Samantha had decided to fight for, guardianship over Imani in the first place. I felt like there's a reason why Tanisha was not raising her full time. I've always felt like that, even though, like I said, the logical part of me says, well, you know what? She is still this child's mother. And if there's a living parent, the courts may decide, well, if she has a living parent, she should go back to her mother. Okay. If they don't see any other reason why she shouldn't go back to her mother, she might end up back with her mother. Okay. I think there's some other stuff going on. I've always thought that. I think there's some other stuff going on. Now, word on the street is that Tanisha doesn't have custody of any of her children. She has a total of 3 children. She has 2 girls, including Imani, and she has a son who I believe is like a teenager. I've seen a picture of him. He's like a teenager. So that being said, if she doesn't have custody of any of her children, I believe the oldest is actually grown. So, but even though the oldest is grown, I don't think she raised her. So that being said, and CPS also getting involved in this whole custody thing between these families, Samantha might have a case. Samantha might have a case if there are other things going on outside of the realm in which we don't know. All right. And I think that a court may, in fact, take some of this stuff into consideration. If in fact Tanisha does not have custody of her other children, there must be a reason why she does not have custody of her other children. If that's in fact true, like I said, I haven't been able to find that, like any kind of like solid proof that she doesn't have her kids, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't. Like sometimes when people know, and this isn't just regular commenters, these be people like in Los Angeles, in the neighborhoods in which like I know her, she ain't got her other kids. So I've seen that, stated out there, which leads me to believe maybe people telling the truth. Maybe they really do know that this woman ain't got her kids. So taking care of her money, maybe that's not going to happen either. She's not going to regain custody of her money that easily. She may have to just prove that she is indeed fit to do that. And, I don't know. Judging by some of her social media, like I said, I've said it in the past, I can see why people might feel a certain way about her because she is, in fact, a messy girl. She is very, very, very messy. Okay. I saw this recent post that she made a few days ago before the court hearing. She said, check this out. I put what I want on my page. If you don't like it, delete yourself. I tell nothing but the truth. Y'all barking up the wrong tree. I've been with him for 16 years and never changed. I am finally speaking again. Y'all act as if we didn't have a child together. What y'all thought, he jumped on himself and had the money. Shaking my head, the Lord above knows, and so does Lauren. So stop all the BS. Now, again, she posted this right before court Tuesday, like right a little bit around court. I don't understand it. I personally don't understand why she's posting this kind of stuff when this should be about a money and nothing but about a money. No baby mama, baby daddy, Lauren, triangle. It should just have been about a money, but she was again engaging in the mess. She said, people forget about the person that held him down from the start and never stopped. And we never stopped messing around, laughing my ass off, but it's cool. God shall be in my favor. So again, nothing about a money. This is all about getting back at Lauren or getting back at all the people that was coming at her. And the truth of the matter is she has no reason at this point to hold back. Nipsey's not here to tell her to be quiet or stop. She has no reason to hold it in. So she's letting it out. Now, even though I think that she shouldn't have been doing this and she should have just been focused on the fact that she's trying to get her daughter back, at the same time, I don't necessarily think she's lying either. Now, I love Nipsey Hussle too. I loved his music too. I think he was a great businessman, all this other stuff. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like baby mamas and baby daddies don't still mess around. And I have a feeling that he was, in fact, still messing with Chyna because Chyna allowed it. Okay. There was also a time when him and Lauren broke up briefly, like a year ago or something like that, a little over a year ago, and they got back together. But it was speculated that Tanisha was still in the picture and she was still messing with Nip. Okay. So I'm sorry. I have a tendency to believe that she's true. Now, that don't mean that I respect what she's doing or respect what she's saying, because at the end of the day, he was still with Lauren and she just made herself look like a dummy. Because if you still messing with this man, but you still live in an apartment like you off of Insecure, she looking like she lived next door to Issa Rae, you know, living in that kind of environment and stuff like that, then why didn't you elevate yourself if you messing with this man that got the kind of career that he had and had the money that he had? You didn't even elevate yourself. You know, everybody around him, he put on and elevated. And she's still out here doing the same old, same old. So that don't say much about her. If she was willing to be his side chick, knowing he was out here flaunting Lauren, then, you know, she played herself. So that ain't nothing to brag about. I think she is just simply trying to get back at people because they had been messing with her and harassing her and stuff like that. And she basically just wanted to come out and say, listen, I was still messing with him. Now, this is one of the reasons why a lot of people feel like, you know what, she doesn't belong. She shouldn't have Imani. She posted this. She said, Imani getting a tattoo. Okay, so she was basically had her in a tattoo chair. I don't really believe that Imani was getting a tattoo. It could have been like one of those henna joints or something like that. But you know, when I was reading the comments, you know, somebody was like, well, why are you doing that? And she said something like, well, you should have stopped me. Should have been here to stop me. So when you see stuff like that and you see her making decisions for her daughter in a way that, and even this post right here, she posted her STD results. Like I said, I see why people are judging her on her, it's just based off her Instagram. Her Instagram has pictures of lean, her popping pills. She just kind of living that life, which in a lot of people would feel like, you know, she's just not fit to raise a little girl. This is her father that she posted at the end of 2018. She said, my dad got shot in his legs, but he's straight now, thank God. So a lot of people judge her Instagram and thinking to myself, do you really think that Imani should go back to this environment where there's drugs, mom with different men all the different time? Because she has several men on her Instagram that she go through a lot of men. Now she is supposedly currently engaged, but if you go to her Instagram, Chyna Hussle, and you will see that she has had several men within the course of like 2 years. There's been like men, and a lot of them have died too. So a lot of dudes, I mean, I hate to say it like that, but most of them is RIP over a dude that she was with. So I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, a lot of people are definitely judging her on her Instagram and how she carries herself and thinking to themselves, she should not have custody of Imani. She doesn't seem stable herself. She doesn't seem stable at all. She seems like she's still young acting. And if you take into account, like I said, that people are saying she does not have custody of her other two, then why is the judge going to grant her custody of Imani? I don't think this is an open and shut case. I don't. Samantha might have a case. She might, like I said, depending on the stuff that we don't know, because Department of Children and Family Services have gotten involved in this. They are involved in this. And so only they would know, of course, if the word on the street is true. That is, Tanisha don't have custody of her other kids. That will be taken into consideration. Okay. I'm just led to believe that Samantha and Black Sam and Nipsey's family don't want to return Imani because they know of stuff that we don't know. And they may feel that, you know what, this mother will not give this girl a stable environment. She has too much going on. She has too many people in and out of her life. That's not how he would have wanted his daughter to be raised. I watched a YouTube video not too long ago on Nipsey Hussle. You can find this called Fatherhood, in which he says when Tanisha got pregnant with Imani, they weren't even together. So this whole thing about Tanisha saying we was together for 16 years, I don't necessarily believe that. I'm finding that hard to believe when her son looks like a teenager himself. So I don't know. That just sounds like a little unbelievable. But, you know, who knows? Who knows? But they weren't even together. He even basically said that they were not together when Tanisha got pregnant. And he was in jail when she was pregnant too. But Imani is his. Now he's not saying that. I felt like he was alluding to the fact that she kind of move around a lot. And if, like I said, if you look at her Instagram, one might think that too. But that don't mean that a judge is going to say, well, she move around a lot, so we're not going to give her back her child. That's not how a judge is going to rule that. He's not going to make a decision, or she's not going to make a decision based on her Instagram. Even if we look at it and be like, oh, she's something, a judge not going to look at that and make a decision off of that. They're going to take everything into account. And I hope more than anything, they ask Imani where she wants to be. Because I think she is the one who, in my opinion, should be able to decide where she wants to be. If she wants to live with her mother or she wants to be with Nipsey's family. I really do hope that they can come to some happy medium and that Imani can still have visitation with her mother, yet stay in the environment where she has been in and where she was going to school and all this other stuff. I don't want her to be estranged from her mother. I hope that doesn't happen. And I kept saying, I wish that Samantha had handled it in a different way instead of doing it kind of like on the sly and filing for this guardianship thing instead of doing it the way she did it. But I'm assuming, like I said, I don't think that they have a relationship where she could have said, I want Imani to stay with us. Can we keep her? Can she stay with us? I just don't think they had that relationship because, again, Tanisha was not at that funeral. I knew it. I knew she wasn't at that funeral. People kept arguing me up and down like Tanisha was there. No, she wasn't. Because, again, she's saying that she ain't even seen her daughter. The day that Nipsey got killed, Imani was over there with, hanging with Nipsey, and she hasn't seen her since. She only saw her for 20 minutes in the courtroom. All right? So, this sounds very messy. It doesn't seem like it's going to be resolved anytime soon. The judge has not decided, but I do pray for everybody involved in this. More importantly, I pray for Imani because she has lost enough. And she